2. I'm Helen Farmer, and I've got 4 tickets up for grabs for you to win today and join us for the Dubai Eye 103.8 Big Splash. On the 5th of July, which is a Saturday, we are taking over Wild Wadi. So, yep, you're coming along and having a great time on your Birch Surges and your Tantrum Alley and the wave pool and the lazy river and all that good stuff. But you could also go home with some money in your pocket, which is apt because we are talking wealth this hour. 10,000 dirhams in cash is going to be given away, plus 50,000 dirhams worth of Al Ansari Exchange travel cards, which are going to be loaded with money to spend in 23 currencies. So we're sorting out your summer spending. If you'd like to join us on the 5th at Wild Wadi, you just need to SMS the word SPLASH to 4001. And later in the show, I could be calling you back with your chance to win. If I call you, I'm going to be playing you a piece of music with a word removed. It's a water-themed song. That's the only clue I'm going to give you. If you get that word right, those tickets are yours. The Big Splash here on Dubai Eye 103.8 is powered by Al Ansari Exchange and ABC Cargo and Courier. Women in the Middle East are helping to drive a global surge in spending power, yet nearly half say brands just don't get them. A major new report covering 8,700 women worldwide reveals what's really driving female consumers and ultimately where businesses are missing a trick. We're joined now by Sophia Bhatti of Wimbledon Wealth and Carol Glynn of Conscience Finance Coaching to break it down. Sophia, why do you think we are seeing this surge in women's spending power in the Middle East in particular right now?
I think in the Middle East, for sure, brands are very traditional in their approach, and they're not taking into account how far women have gone, really, in terms of mainly education, in terms of entrepreneurship. There's a lot of female-led businesses now in this part of the region.
Big push to have women on boards, of course.
Of course, as well. And I think in terms of ads and, marketing, they're still marketing on the whole more kind of beauty and, the traditional stuff that they think women are going to be, more engaged in. And they're not, because women now are more empowered, and they want marketing and whether it's services or products to be more related to them and the new approach that they have.
Carol, there has been this rise in spending power. Why do you think so many women feel misunderstood or misrepresented by brands?
To be honest, I'm surprised it's not higher. I think it's because, like Sophia said, it's this historical view that all we want to do is spend on handbags and cosmetics and clothes. And it's simply not true.
Really exciting things like washing powder.
Oh, yes.
My favourite thing
Domestic
to spend my
products.
money on.
Or like, Hoovers. So it's just a really, really outdated view of the role of women if you think about it historically. But we've changed. More of us are working, we're earning more, becoming more senior, like you said, being on boards. So our spending power has changed, and therefore what we are open to buying and want to buy has changed.
What we're capable of buying, that ticket price has no doubt increased, whether we are single or indeed making decisions on behalf of the family finances. Sophia, in your experience then, do brands and I guess financial institutions also underestimate women's influence when it comes to household and discretionary spending?
For sure. And I think the financial institutions in particular, they do target, whether it's obvious or not, they target men, and because that's how it's traditionally seen, as the male will be the person in that relationship who will make the decisions. And but I think I don't know what the percentage is. There's a huge percentage now where women are the decision makers in not just financials, but in buying most of the products, as we know, for home, but also investments. They are making the decisions now, even within a family landscape. And then more so, there's a lot of independent women who are out there and wanting to make their future secure.
This report's really made me kind of examine our own household and how we spend money. And I think I like to think that we're pretty equal, pretty equitable. But I mean, we both have our own cars, and I bought my own car for me based on, kind of my needs. But when it comes to holidays, I'm like, that's a big chunk of money. And I'm pretty sure I'm the one that was pushing towards a certain destination, hotel, organisations. And certainly when we think about some of the really big ticket items out of a family's budget, you know, where you live and the schools, they are joint decisions. But I do think perhaps a lot of research falls to the mum a lot of the time when it comes to these things. So it's a very interesting one to kind of untangle. Carol, from your point of view, why do you think some women don't feel empowered by how they're portrayed in advertising or financial messaging? And I've heard adverts, I've seen adverts where it's this kind of, you know, little wife type character.
It just doesn't appeal to us anymore.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. And there's a lot of research on this. There's a piece I always go back to that they researched, I think it's 138 pieces of media targeted towards women when it comes to money, and another 138 targeted towards men. And the language in the female targeted ones was spending, discounts, saving, you know, basically anti-splurge, as you can imagine. And in the male focus articles, it was investment, power, wealth, you know, talking about that.
Growth, build.
Exactly. And we're tired of it. You know, it's so, I mean, we're past that now. And I think this is why we're becoming more and more disengaged from it and figuring it out by ourselves, because we are tired of having the conversations and being judged. I regularly do a poll with when there's women in the room, and how often have you been negatively stereotyped in a situation where you're talking about money? And it's really interesting. It's always between 82 and 84%.
Really?
So it's hard to step into that when you feel like you're being slapped back all the time.
And this is things like, oh, you know, if you go into a car showroom, for example, a salesperson defaulting to your husband and, you know, assuming that perhaps the man is the main breadwinner when it comes to banking and accounts.
And even when they know he is not. So in my situation, I always give the example, I was the CFO when we bought the house. It was all on my income. We were there together. It was a joint purchase, but it was on my credentials. I was an accountant, a CFO, and it was my salary, all on paper. Who do you think they spoke to?
Let us know your experiences on this, guys. As I said, in the studio, Carol Glynn from Conscious Finance Coaching and Sophia Batty, who's the founder and CEO of Wimbledon Wealth. Nora saying on 4001, I feel like brands here are still assuming I'm only spending on fashion or beauty and, yes, cleaning products, when actually I'm focused on property and investments. When will they catch up? If you are from a branding company, marketing, let us know. We'd love to get a bit of the inside track and some of the conversations happening behind the scenes. We're going to be talking about some of the 6 consumer personas in the report, certain types of spending. It has a bit about money mindset as well. If you've got any questions or thoughts on this and the rise of women's spending power in the region, 4001.
Dubai Eye 103.8 traffic.
With Yas Island Abu Dhabi. Stay at iconic hotels and play at record-breaking theme parks. Book now on yasisland.com.
Jennifer Crichton's keeping us moving on the roads this hour. It is 13 minutes past 2. What's the latest?
We're definitely getting into holidays. It's definitely a lot quieter at this time of day than it usually would be. There are a couple of accidents to be aware of. The first is on the Sheikh Zayed Road, just in front of the Financial Centre Metro Station on the northbound carriageway. That is causing tailbacks right the way back across the canal, past Business Bay essentially. And then there is also an accident on the 611 northbound just past the Fly Dubai campus. That is causing pretty significant tailbacks there as well. Otherwise, not really much to report in the way of accidents in Dubai. We've got congestion kicking in northbound on the 311 around DXB, and that will continue through Sharjah's industrial area. It's free flowing southbound. The E11 is slow moving in both directions through Sharjah city centre, but otherwise okay. And then we have one accident on the E88 approach to Sharjah International Airport, causing some minor tailbacks as well. Anything else I've missed, please let us know. 4001 on the text.
Thank you, Jen. Give us a shout with anything we need to know. But as we always say, please be part of the solution and not the problem, and only pick up your phone when it's safe to do so. Thank you.
Dubai Eye 103.8 traffic.
We are with you all the way through until 4 o'clock this afternoon. I've got tickets for Bill Burr. So if you love your comedy and you think you can finish the dad joke, and I have to say, not many people correctly guessing it on the text line, so you've got a good chance today if you get creative. That's coming your way after 2:30.
More of Afternoons with Helen Farmer is coming up next.
On the UAE's #1 talk